The sapphire's kind of mellow today. I'm just thinking this just now, I used to do crystal ball gazing and like big marbles. And when I can remember seeing a rocket launched in it. It was hard to, I used to do scrying like a motherfucker. I'm sorry guys, if you watch this, forgive me. I've been doing this thing with Diana for the past, Diana, Princess of Wales, for the past 6 months. And I think she's fully possessed me. At first, I'm wearing Athena, the Tudor Sapphire Rose. Athena equals Inanna equals Queen Elizabeth, really 1 and 2. I guess I can start saying that now. Anyway, anyone who watches this, you'll have to forgive me. I think I'm totally possessed by both Queen Elizabeth of Heaven and Queen Diana, but Queen Elizabeth is now married to John Lennon, and Phillip is erased. His soul no longer exists. He couldn't face Elizabeth with all his lies. I have to do some spiritual practices because the evolution here is so confusing to me. Are we seeing the Athena thing? My mind is a different thing. I feel like I'm having a religious war in my head. People who watch this, especially William, you're gonna have to forgive me. I don't know what's even going on. I'm some crazy dude in Detroit trying to channel Diana Elizabeth. What does that even fucking mean? Diana and Elizabeth are both the happiest they've ever been. Diana has true love with this nutcase, her eternal husband. I accept that. There's no doubt about that. I'm having some weird religious visions about how kings and queens are spiritual representatives for the earth. That has to be restored, or Elizabeth and Diana are going to murder out the earth through heat waves and stuff. There's a spiritual war on earth. It's evil versus good. Charles is the evil that murdered Diana and Elizabeth by paying Epstein pedophiles to Oprah, Popra, Winfrey, New York, Rosemary's Baby, Ghostwriter. Okay, this is brainstorming, and I'm fully possessed by the office of heaven, which is a joke maybe to anyone who doesn't need to believe it. I can't demean the office of heaven, but I don't give a fuck who watches this or what you think. I just have to do this for Elizabeth and Diana. That's my job. Well, I don't get paid other than through Diana and Elizabeth are strangely happy. I've never seen Elizabeth happy, nor John Lennon. They're married. Phillip is rejected in eternity. Okay, the practice is this. Charles needs to seek absolution from Elizabeth and Diana, queens of heaven. Does anyone see Charles publicly proclaiming that he murdered Diana and Elizabeth through an Epstein pedophile cult ritualistic worldwide network of Oprah, Meghan, temple energy? I have to brainstorm and then watch this, but I have to also post it. This is Diana, the happiest she's ever been. She's actually confidently happy as a ghost inside of my body. Sometimes she's a fucking gerbil or what, guinea pig or whatever her stuff is. Diana's the happiest she's ever been, which means the happier you can make a ghost, let's say your inner subconscious in relation to that ghost, the better of a dialogue you can have. No one's ever seen Gabe Rivera. You've seen some sort of chased, demonized, terrorized entity because King Charles is a pedophile, a head demon of a pedophile cult who has destroyed England for drug running. They run drugs, movies, Hollywood, molest women. And Camilla is a demon who has had sex with Charles. Charles likes having sex where he's like, I murdered my mummy for you, Camilla. I murdered my wife and my mummy for you. I'm the head demon. But this is all going on in concert with a demonic group of people who are using Diana's soul to torture it. They're making her spin in her grave. And all of this is actually a war in William's head. William, if you watch this, you're gonna have to forgive me. And I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I can't really get a hold of my head very well because of this. They're giving me visions. Elizabeth, I think it's Diana. She's an actual angel. Diana's an eternal being. She's an angel that visited this earth to save England from destruction in the exact same way that Anne Boleyn did, because she's also Anne Boleyn. Hi William. Hey, you were born of an angel, and the world's greatest angel and the world's greatest demon. Your father murdered Elizabeth and Diana and wants to murder you and the children for Satan because he's a brain-dead moron, the most unfit human being on planet Earth, and he has problems with that psychology of an insult. If someone can insult you with the word unfit, it's because you are unfit. I'm dealing with the psychology of an insult shit with Diana on such a deep level. Forgive me, Charles murdered Diana and Elizabeth for a pedophile cult that eats Diana's DNA baby stuff to torture her soul. I have rescued her from that. As of 2 days ago, Diana and I had a constant, as of like 5 days ago, Diana and I had a constant anxiety. I talk to her all day, every day. She possesses me. She needs a lot of love. She's broken by not being able to be closer to William and Catherine, Catherine and William are serving a pedophile cult, a demonic baby-eating pedophile cult that is torturing Diana, Princess of Wales, because they do not publicly state Charles murdered Elizabeth and Diana for a pedophile baby-eating cult that is still practicing, and William has to take the Church of England back for Diana and Elizabeth. War is at heaven. The office of heaven, Queen Elizabeth and Queen Diana of heaven, want to absolve Charles. After they have absolved Charles, he'll probably be erased like Phillip because he's unfit for heaven even. Charles isn't going to make eternity, but William can. Imagine this burden on William. Imagine trying to meet up with William and say, in order to save Prince George from a dying planet, you have to publicly admit that your father had sex with Camilla and said, I murdered my mummy and the mother of my children for you, so you would shine, baby. And in a cult ritual, global cult ritual, did you guys see the sapphire? Diana makes me stare into her own sapphire ring, which is on Kate's finger, and claims it is her possession. And Diana's this ruthless angel. If William doesn't help her seek divine justice, Diana's gonna work with Elizabeth to boil this planet off. If the Church of England isn't restored, Charles being the greatest enemy of the Church of England, Charles and Camilla are the greatest enemy. All of heaven is rolling over in its grave. Elizabeth, George VI, Elizabeth the Mother, Tech. Charles has done more to destroy England in 4 years than the rest of the queens and kings of England have done to build it up in 1000. It took Charles 2 years to ruin William's soul, destroy that crown forever, because when he puts on the crown, his head will be in the dome. In those dome is being practiced ritual sex of torturing Diana, the queen of people's hearts, who ended up with a pierced heart. What are the odds? Charles is the most evil human being to walk the face of this earth. Well, Trump's a pedophile, Elon's a pedophile. How would planet Earth stop a spiritual warfare where Alex Carp, pedophile YouTube, are actually a baby sex-eating cult torturing Diana, Queen of Heaven, and Elizabeth, Queen of Heaven? How can I stop YouTube, Prince William, and the Anglican Church from being the greatest source of distress for the queens of heaven, Elizabeth and Diana, which they're not. Diana and Elizabeth are in the best moods they ever have been, Queen of Heavens, and they just need Charles to publicly state that he murdered Diana and Elizabeth to sexually thrill Camilla, because he, like Dahmer, you know, like to have skull sex or whatever. Charles' kink is murdering people and then having sex with Camilla and gloating about it. It's murder sex. He did it with Elizabeth. I murdered my mummy so you would shine, baby. And he did it with Diana. I murdered that bitch. She'll never bother us again. And then with Diana, she was tortured in temple magic, but I think she's being rescued from that. Diana's doing this weird shit in my head where she's taking over my head, just taking it over and showing me the vision. I thought I've had hard visions in my life, but now the visions are so hard that they open up. I can see them, I register them, and poof, they go away. I've never had anything like that. Diana has taken me over in a way that I wonder if any ghost has ever taken a human over. And it's the most pleasant feeling in the world. It can be also, Diana wants to be with William. Hi, William. I have Diana inside of me. She wants to see George. Does that sound sane? How can I meet with William without anyone ever knowing I met with William so that Diana can talk with him, see her own ring, do a bunch of angel magic? What am I doing? Diana wants to see William, but she isn't going to go near William without her Prince Charming. She's worried she's going to scare children. She will scare children. If William has dealt with Diana, he knows suffering on a level that you can't even imagine. To save George, to calm that, her suffering is somewhat calmer. She's depressed that she can't see William and George. I can't take Diana to William and George. Nobody gives a fuck that Diana is happy or sad or whether she's in me or what's happening between good and evil in this world. The office of heaven is at war with earth. Charles is unfit. Trump is a pedophile who ate Diana DNA babies with Elon. They're pedophiles. Alex Karp is a part of a pedophile cult, baby eating cult. YouTube is a pedophile. In order to save William's dome, I have to get Charles and William to publicly admit that Charles murdered Diana and Elizabeth for ritual sex with Camilla and a global demonic cult. And the angel of Diana and Elizabeth will perform miracles, maybe even as Elizabeth won and Anne Boleyn, to extend another 1,000-year reign. If William can be Anglican, Anne Boleyn is the founder of the Anglican Church, that is his mother Diana reborn, who is an angel, a sacrificial lamb of suffering, but also compassion. But she will torment you. Hi, George. You ever heard a ghost story? Well, your grandma's a ghost, but trying to deal with her is like opening the floodgates of the Hoover Dam and asking all the depression and horror in the world to be tormented into your mind, but you got to handle it. And that's the foundational point. She's been danced in temples. It's just so terrible. Hey, George, you're here to rescue your dad. What's up? You're here to rescue your dad. And inside his head is the murder of Elizabeth and Diana, which cannot be publicly reconciled because Charles is a demon that's going to murder you if he doesn't absolve himself. He's not going to absolve himself. I can't absolve myself. I can't publicly state that my dad murdered Diana and Elizabeth. What can be done? Why do I have to deal with this in my head? Why are they so happy? Why do I deal with a moron audience that is completely worthless? Why has YouTube always been worthless? You want me to videotape all this, girl? This is what we're gonna do? Anyway, the Triple Mountain Challenge is complete. It's somewhere in time. You can see Tech Elizabeth and Elizabeth the Mother at an event. That is queens gracing angels. Diana's an angel, who's going to save England from the demon that is Charles. That's why she came. William, I am so sorry. Don't ignore all of this. It might be head practice for you. I don't even know what's going on. They're doing weird things. I'm going to review this. We'll go from there. So sorry. I don't even exist. I don't. Oh, that's funny.